has begun.
All right, so we're going to begin with Afanen. Okay, so we come to the Draenog clan or tribe, and we come to Afanen, who's perched up in a tree. Okay, they're watching their childhood rival, Sesh. He's been running around with a remnant of a spirit badger for the entire morning, looking for you so that he can torment you before your trial. But you've been hiding from him and watching him. He's tuckered himself out and he's given up on you. He travels back to a hollow tree, and you watch as he does so, and you notice that as he stores his remnant there, he has a bunch of other treasures. Some bone chips and sweet berries. Would you like to introduce your character and tell me what you would like to do in this situation?
Yeah, so I'm Afanen, he and they pronouns, either way. Afanen is typically teenager shaped and really like lanky, hasn't seemed to grow into their limbs quite yet. Like most of the Draenog, who are Hedgehog tribe, he has really spiky hair, very dark, almost black eyes, and a tiny little button nose. Perfect for hanging out in tree limbs. So my rival is Sesh, right?
Yes, he's been bullying you for a few years now. He's actually younger than you, but much larger. He
That
is
tracks.
a hefty lad.
And so he's not at his treasure trove anymore.
No, he's left. He's stored the remnant of the badger there and wandered off, probably to get back to his training.
Is there a way for me to like climb from my tree into his tree?
You you could try that. I wouldn't recommend it now that you got rid of athletics, but yes, you could absolutely give it a go. It looks pretty difficult.
What
It
could
looks
go
very easy
wrong?
to climb up and down from the trees, but like climbing from one tree to another tree, you're really going to have to get out there on a branch, get away from the trunk.
All right, that frightens me. So I'll just climb down my tree very slowly, I guess, and try to stealthily make my way over to the horde of shiny.
All right. You try to sneak over to his horde. You take your time, and you indeed manage to make your way to the hollow tree and start looting it. Just as you're finishing up, collecting these bone chips and some sweet berries, and if you want, you can take uh, the remnant of the badger, or not, up to you. But just as you're turning away from it, you hear the sound of pounding feet as someone comes rushing back towards the hollow tree.
Oh god.
So, can you make a stealth check for me? 10. Okay, that's not good enough. Sesh bursts out into the clearing and spots you as you jump behind one of the nearby trees. So he's on your trail, but you have broken line of sight with him for the moment. But you know that over distance, he will catch you because you can't keep up this sort of pace for very long. So you can try to hide again behind another tree. So make me another stealth check. 7 is also not successful. All right, he's almost upon you, but you are able to again break line of sight to him, so you can make a stealth check for me. 13. That is successful, but he's searching the area thoroughly for you. He knows you're around here, so you're going to have to try and creep away with him in pursuit. So make me another stealth check. 22 is good.
Maybe.
And make me one more as you increase your range on him. 20. Excellent. You managed to get away from Sesh with your goodies. Okay, well, that equates into, if you'd like to roll for me, 48. Okay, so you managed to make it away with 21 bone chips. These are what goes as copper pieces in the tribes. They have small value for crafting. But yeah, and these are very rough, just bone chips, but of, you know, the right type of bone. So these are sort of from spirit beasts. So they can be crafted into things like arrowheads. And you also make it away with some sweet berries. So that's enough for an additional ration. So you can add that to your character sheet as well. Right. And you make it back to your family and are able to continue with your jewelry crafting before heading off to meet with the other youths, the other disciples gathering for the trial. Okay, so then we'll go to how do you say your character's name, Ben?
Rukka.
Rukka. Okay, so we'll go to Rukka. Okay, and we find Rukka toiling along, weighed down under a massive bag of feed. He's hauling it to Ramoth, the 10th elder of the Sangilak. Is that how you
Sure.
say it? Yeah, okay. And you haul it in front of this majestic caribou. Its hooves coated in a light fire, melting the snow around them. Rukka, tell me, how will you treat the other disciples of the other tribes?
That's a good question. I guess it depends on what they're like.
That's a pretty wise answer. Make me a charisma check. Just straight charisma. Oh, he seems very pleased. As you place the blessed feed down for him, you can make an animal handling check with advantage. Excellent. Romoth starts smashing into that feed, chomping it up, sort of snorting it around the tower in which he presides. He chuckles about what you've said. Yes, treat them harshly if they are harsh. And to that end, take one of my runes with you. And he quickly smashes a piece of stone off the side of the wall and stomps his foot upon it. This covers it in a fire rune. So he gives you with a fire rune. This lets you cast Burning Hands once, and then the rune is destroyed. You can add that to your character sheet. Rukka.
Oh.
Also,
I'll,
tell us
slide
about
my-
yourself.
Rukka's, typical 15-year-old, sort of a bit scrawny, doesn't have any real muscle definition. He has the mask of the Sangilak people, which covers the face from the elements and also sort of helps with vision and cuts down the glare because the eyes are kind of slitty, but he tends not to actually wear it and just squints instead. At this stage, he is actually wearing it, and he slides it back to look at the runes. He picks it up and
So it isn't an affectation that he wears this all the time. It's something that the tribe does generally wear.
yes, yeah, it's a piece of tribal.
Okay, it's not just for ceremonies. It's their sort of garb.
Yeah, it serves the purpose of, as I said, cutting down the glare when out on the snow, and keeping the cold wind off the face. But as a general habit, he wears it kind of sitting on top of his head, more like a cap,
Okay.
and just squints into the distance instead.
All right. We'll go to Åvna of the Isso, if that's correct. How do you say your character's name?
Åvna of the Isith.
You just want to be difficult, didn't you?
They're Nordic runes.
Sorry, of the what was the
Isith.
tribe?
The last character is pronounced as a th.
Yep. That's okay. I'm just writing down how they're said.
Yep, that's correct. That's fine.
All right. Now, Åvna, upon awakening, you wish for as little fuss as possible. You know many of the tribe will call upon your help if you're not careful. So, can you introduce your character and tell us how you go about your day?
Åvna is pretty rambunctious, petulant, some would say rude. She does display a deal of arrogance, I guess, but that is due, I guess, to her youth. She is the daughter of a hunter and a midwife. The hunter never returned from a trip when she was 13 years old. Her mother believes that he is still alive and will return in time. He may be trapped somewhere on the tundra, become disoriented, or waylaid by something. But as the years, or months and years have passed, Åvna has beseeched her mother to let go, to accept it and move on. Unfortunately, due to the fact that she has very little in the way of empathy, she explained that rather poorly, and basically gave her mother an ultimatum, causing a fractious relationship thereon. She stands quite tall for a female of 15 years old, and is quite heavy set. She is blessed with a fairly strong and robust physique. Wise beyond her years, but a little bit, as mentioned, lacking in empathy. She wears hunter's garb, furs and the like, and when she was younger, to try and curb her nature, she was handed over to the Norns, the wise women of the Isith, to try and teach her some manner of humility and reverence for other people. Unfortunately, that failed. She is still pretty annoyingly brutal in her assessment and approach to people, but that doesn't belie her heart. She is good-natured. Unfortunately, she just can't express it very well. As with all the Norns, she covers her eyes in a black ink to facilitate an appearance similar to the night frost owl, which is what the Isith is.
All right, excellent. Well, as I was saying, you are trying to avoid some form of notice. You do know that the Norns are out looking for you. The three elders who have been in charge of your upbringing for a while now.
Mhm.
And with the trial coming up, you just sort of want a bit of a restful day. But you have already heard in the echoing caves, they're on the prowl. So, keep ahead of them. You can make me a perception check. Oh, easily able to avoid them. You just barely have to move at all. Just one room after they've already checked it. Make me another 2 of those as they sort of spread out to cover more ground. All right. Very successful. You're easily able to keep ahead of them because you are quite perceptive, and they, unfortunately, as old age has come on,
Mm-hmm.
if things aren't easily within reach for them, they struggle a little bit. All right. Is there anything you would like to do to prepare for your journey apart from avoid these 3 ladies? With those rolls, you're easily able to procure a piece of equipment, and then your mother would like to have a word with you.
Probably the only thing that Åvna is interested in at this time is definitely that last discussion with her mother. She does realize that her nature, her own nature, is probably the cause of the schism with her mother, and she does feel guilt and remorse for it. Unfortunately, she struggles with words, even though she can understand them. So yes, that is definitely what she will be hoping for, and probably why she is avoiding the Norns as much as she is, because she wants to have as much time to try and mend, or at least part on good terms with her mother.
Okay, well, your mother has made a feast during the day, and when you meet with her before heading off to meet the other disciples, she is there, and you can see that she has a bundled package against the wall that has never been there before. But there is a feast in front of you, and it's pretty bland, average food, but you can tell that she's put some work in because she's not a great cook, just a great midwife.
Mm-hmm. All right. Åvna will grunt, I guess, a little bit, nervous, taking over her appreciation. Thank you, Mother. It looks edible.
Nice.
Yep.
Flawless.
She taps her spoon on the table and says, "Yes, thank you. I labored a bit on it, of course. We all know my cooking's not amazing. Your father was a finer cook and always brought us choice cuts of meat. But maybe if the mountain does not break you, as nothing has been able to, you will be bringing us fine cuts of meat in the future. For I doubt you will ever leave this home soon. Not with that tongue. But what can I say? You are a blessing.
Thank you.
And so the dinner passes in silence, looks at each other across the table. You certainly haven't hurt things with her any further. And at the end of the dinner, she presents you with the wrapped bundle. You can make me a wisdom check.
Okay. A wisdom check. I have to go in here and
21. So she thinks she's been pretty cunning, but you have seen that she has actually she spent a few weeks ago a day with your father's parents.
Mhm.
And after that she brought back his old spear from his trial, his first spear.
Yep.
And she's been working on it in secret, but you've noticed. Okay, you haven't said anything about it, amazingly, somehow, but it's no surprise to you as you unwrap the staff, the spear. It's very, it's pretty fine. Your father's parents are not as poor as you are. Your
Mhm.
family is now poor with your father's death, but so it's a much finer looking spear than yours, functionally the same, but this one has sort of fake runes on it. They don't hold any real power, but they're just very minor blessings, guidance runes, things like that. They haven't been empowered in any way. But it is a beautiful piece of work. You can tell that it was lovingly made and it has been lovingly cared for. And your mum would love for you to be surprised, maybe, so grateful, but all you can think is, this is not a surprise to me. Like,
Hmm.
I knew this was coming. So, if you would like to try and bluff her, you can. If you just accept it,
Let's
how would you like to deal with this?
let's let fate determine how she will approach this.
Excellent. Yep. Perfect.
Thank you, Mother.
So,
This is acceptable. The decorations that you have been working on are nice. I will take my father's spear and I will return with it. Thank my father's parents for bestowing it upon me. And thank you for letting me take it too.
she frowns, but also sighs, and just turns and says, I'm tired. I'm going to bed now. Good night, Åvna.
Good night, Mother. Well, that went well.
Yep.
Excellent. All right. So, that takes us to, how do you say is yours?
Kridi.
Sorry?
Kridi.
Kridi. Oh, that's good. That's how it was said. Okay, and of the Hispida?
Hispida. Yep.
Good. Okay, Kridi of the Hispida is assisting the third elder in his rune bindings. You have been assisting him for a long time, and this day he is putting together some runes. He's rapidly asking you to hand him tools and wrappings and bindings. Just hold this patiently while he chisels it. Hand him a little bit of the bone powder so that he can rub it in. So, can you please make me an Arcana check?
Just a question because I haven't done Roll20 through D&D through Roll20 before.
Yes.
The two rolls are essentially just in case you need it. It does it automatically for advantage and disadvantage, and you just disregard the second one if it's not.
Yes,
Yeah,
is
cool.
also
I figured. I just want to double check because I was confused for a second. I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. It's all good.
Good. You're able to hand him things promptly. Can you make me another Arcana check to make sure that you're handing him everything correctly? Yes. And can you make me a final Arcana check to make sure that you didn't wreck anything, which is also successful? Excellent. You're easily able to help him in your work as you normally do. He puts together a fine rune binding and sends you on your way. As you pass from his chambers, you hear the scouts have returned, and they will have information on the newest movements of the snowdrifts. If you would like, as you commonly do, you can talk to them so you can update your map.
Of course.
Okay.
Especially as I'm about to leave. Like,
All right. Well, to talk to the scouts, you'll either need to use survival or some kind of charisma check.
Oh wow! I wonder which one I'm going to use.
You can speak in their language. Survival. Okay, giving them probing questions, you're able to get a bit of information about some of the snowdrifts. Can you make me another survival check to update your map? Yes, and can you make me a map tools check using
Cartographers.
using your cartographer's tools. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so you have your map. Okay, and for the first day of your journey, you have advantage on survival checks because of the
Awesome.
information that you have gleaned from the scouts' reports. Can you please introduce your character as you head off to meet with the other disciples?
Cool. Yes. So I'm Kridi of the Hispida, as I said before, named for the spiny viper, which is a really cool real life animal, and obviously not too relevant in the mountains, but still. Unlike the other tribes, the Hispida don't tend to do families. It's more about the whole, do everything with the tribe. The tribe comes first, blah 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 blah. So Hispida never really knew her parents. Sorry, Kridi never knew her parents or any of that. She was just, taught and brought up along with all the other children in a group. Hispida have a few distinctive features that reflect their animal. They usually don't have any hair whatsoever on their head or face or anywhere else. They have a smattering of scales, whether on their head, along their brow, or just anywhere else. And their noses essentially look like Voldemort. Very much not sticking out, flat against the face. Yes, so Kridi showed an aptitude for magic at an early age and has spent most of her life learning from the elders or the elders from her tribe, as you mentioned. She never really made any friends, as she was never, as apart from when she was very young, she wasn't really in a place to spend much time with kids of her own age, because obviously she was her abilities are quite rare and doesn't, so she spent more time with the elders rather than with everybody else training, to become warriors or scouts or whatever else like that. So she is nervous about going on this because obviously she has very little social skills, but still hopeful that she can fit in, I guess. And yes, and the final thing is, yes, she is quite good at making maps and has a great interest in it, which hopefully will be useful.
Excellent. All right. Now, some of you have to journey a fair distance. Kridi is one of those. But after a journey around the edge of the crater, or whatever you call this area, traveling along the edge of the drifts, avoiding the flows, you meet up at the opposite side of the drifts to the finger, or Watcher's Peak, which is where you need to ascend or do your trial. You know that there are some stones that hold ceremonial, religious, spiritual value, depending on your tribe or your beliefs, or even just as a test that you must travel to. Though many of the spirit warriors do attest that they have reached seen visions when they have reached them, and they've glided their way forward to greater power. So hopefully you can get some of that. We'll see. On this day, the weather is fine in the crater. Behind you, the four burning fingers rise up, their peaks untouched by snow, unlike the rest of the mountain ranges. and the giant blue ring around the central Watcher's Peak rotates slowly in the sky. It's made out of the same magic as ice spells. It's huge. You think it must be hundreds of feet across, formed out of not solid energy, but it rotates slowly around Watcher's Peak. All right. You begin your journey. You're all sort of put into groups. There are other groups heading out from different locations that are all converging on Watcher's Peak, but yours is the only group that will be leaving today. And yeah, you've all one person from each of the tribes. One of the members is missing. Looks like he couldn't make it for some reason. But so you'll just be a group of 4. Okay. And this is the first time you will have seen each other. But you will have seen members of the tribes before, rarely the other tribes, but there have been tournaments held. Experts do come from each of the tribes to visit each other. Experts and warriors showing different techniques and stuff like that. And of course, there have been massive spirit mammoth hunts that have been held, and whichever hold it is closest to, that's where the feast is. So you've seen many a warrior or hunter over the time. Yeah, you can head out on your journey. Anybody want to say anything to any of the other people, or is there any particular way you would like to head off into the drifts? Or are you just going to go?
Afanen would really rather be back home, so he would rather not go anywhere near the drifts.
Wonderful.
He's like, oh, it's quite cold out here and there's a lot of strangers, and I'm not super sure how I feel about that, so I'm just going to stand at the back and be quiet and fiddle with the rings on my fingers.
This is one of the nicest days you've seen in a long time. It's there's no snow coming down at the moment or anything like that. No clouds. It's a beautiful, fine day. A rarity. Of course, that does mean that the flows will be active. Sometimes the layers of ice that rest in this crater shift and begin to flow. The ice sheets crack. The ice that's really deep down, it never breaks up, but there are different levels of the ice, and sometimes that top level breaks, and those are the flows. So,
well, Rukka's going to hold his quarterstaff in both hands and stretch it up above his head and arc his backwards and goes, right, again, time for us to go. And just start walking straight towards, like, in a straight line. Yeah.
Yeah, great. I mean, you can see it, right? It's this big mountain. Yeah. Okay, big peak up ahead of you. So, you just head off towards it. All right. Anybody else?
Cool. I guess I'll go on.
No, keep going. I didn't realize I was muted. Wasn't muted. Sorry.
Ah, it's all good. I was going to say Kridi will, now that someone has shown, like, I guess, taking chargeness, Kridi will attempt to, like, I guess, ask/explain to Rukka about, like, oh, I've got a map. I've done, like, looked around this area. Maybe we can, if I can help out with this, in terrible stammering, oh my god, what am I doing? Talk. But I will attempt to convey that if, like, I could possibly be helpful in the whole navigating.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, maps are really useful, but we're going there. And Rukka just points at it.
Yes,
like,
but there's different ways you can get there, and some of the ways are more safe than others. I don't want us drowning or falling off.
So Rukka
Right.
has a quarterstaff, clearly. Does Afanen or Kridi have visible weapons?
I've also got a quarterstaff.
I have a short bow.
Rukka also has a javelin.
Okay, cool. So Åvna now has 2 spears and a short bow and a quiver of arrows. She is not wearing armor, but I believe all 3 of you are.
Yes.
Åvna will have a bit of a chuckle at the discourse going between Rukka and Kridi. Let the map reader take the lead. Maps have use. I am Åvna. Lead on, please.
I guess Kridi will take that as encouragement, and then start to try and figure out what's the best way to.
Absolutely, she was
I
pouring
guess
her heart out
to-
there.
Sorry.
I said absolutely you should, because Åvna was pouring her heart out.
Excellent. So yes, I guess I will. I'll attempt to. I guess find at least a good path starting from here, and then go from there.
Okay, following the map. Make me a survival check.
Yep.
You have advantage, obviously.
Indeed. Oh, okay, 11 to start.
11. Yep, that's fine. The weather holds fine until about midday. You avoid any of the more dangerous areas. Now, in this case, it's just that you guide through the drifts, sort of traversing past them. You don't get into any snowfalls or anything like that. You avoid any dead trees, and you avoid a wandering remnant. So you're pretty happy about that. But after about midday, a fine sleet starts to fall, and it's pretty cold. And by the time evening sets in and you're ready to camp, you're all very tired. Can you make me a survival check to find a suitable campsite?
Can I also roll? No, you've rolled. You've got advantage. I've got a better skill checks than you, but I roll poorly.
Yes, you're all looking around. It's really coming down, and there just aren't any particularly good places. But you remember that one of the scouts was talking about how one of his favorite camping locations had been unburied in the recent shifting drifts, and so you're able to head straight towards it.
Excellent.
So I will.
I will eagerly babble about it to anyone who listens as we get in.
And I will leave you there. All right. So, you come to this campsite. All right. Here you can see that the river has just started to crack under the sun in the morning, but you can see it hardening up again. There's just sort of fresh freezing in some of these cracks. This massive skeleton that it's amongst, and you can see that there's an actual camp inside this discarded giant helm. Okay, there's even some furs set up there, though that chest isn't there. And over here, if you can all see where I'm pinging,
Yep.
you can see that there is a shrine to the Wanderer. And there seems to even be fresh spirit fruit sitting on the side of it.
So just double checking, this is the first time any of us have been like outside of our tribe, yeah?
Is it the first time you guys have been out into the drifts? You've been outside before. They've been teaching many of you how to hunt, gather things. You know, you gather stuff all the time. But looking at the map that you have, Oz, the area that's white around the outside, that's sort of the area that you've been limited to, and
Yep,
now
so,
you're out on the blue, okay?
yeah,
So the
and,
blue is like a massive sheet of ice, okay? Most of the time that ice is covered by snow, and there are rocks that have like fallen and gathered through, and they become the flows, okay? So they're never able to penetrate into the true ice that's down below, but this sort of layer of detritus is constantly getting pushed back up to the surface rather than sink lower. It churns every now and again.
Cool. Because in that case, Kridi would absolutely be, like, I guess, excited to see something like this in person. Because obviously, she's heard about this before, but from scouts and whatnot. But it's like, yeah, it's really cool to see in person, essentially. So that's what Kridi will be doing, just mumbling to herself as she looks around.
Excellent. This is also sort of a different stone to what you normally see. The stone around the outside of the crater is not this kind of compacted earth. Okay, you've got more sort of igneous stone around the outside of the crater.
So one thing with starting equipment, because I didn't put much down for starting equipment, did we have rations and water skins, etc., that we were provided with? Do we get them to take?
I think we all have like
everybody has a water skin and everybody has 2 days of rations.
Cool.
Oh yes, actually, did I add 2 days of rations to your sheet? I might not.
What about things like?
You should have 2 days. Oh no, you do have 2 days of rations.
What about things like cooking pots, etc.? Do we have anything like that?
You certainly had all day to procure one if you wanted one. Other people will not have a cook pot as such.
Cool. I'll take my mother's so she doesn't have to use it any further.
Oh no.
Excellent. So you've brought a cook pot with you.
Yes.
Sure. Add it to your character sheet. That
I
was
just
something
did.
you did before you headed out. Sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Cool. With the campsite, there is a lit fire on the map that is the fire.
Yes.
It's just a fireplace. Is there wood?
It's just a fireplace. Yes, there is. There's a stack of wood here.
All right. I will go about setting the wood into a fire and then set fire to it with produce flame. Letting a drop of liquid fire fall from my fingertips.
And you're all able to see.
Ah, you fool! Now you're getting Kridi's interest. She will absolutely come over and ask you like how you did that, who taught you that, what other things can you do with it? Does it hurt people? Is it like fake? And yeah, the constant bombard of questions. If you don't tell her to screw off.
It is absolutely real. You can put your hand to the fire if you so wish. Do so. It's how I learned. But the Norns taught me magic to survive with. On the tundra, in the mountains, fire is important, is it not? So, being able to start one in any form of inclement weather is important.
No, Kridi will be very impressed.
Does anybody else want to do anything at this camp?
Is that ribcage climbable?
It is.
Rukka's
It looks like it is. You can give it a go.
Rukka's totally going to climb it.
Excellent. Can you make me an acrobatics check or an athletics check? Actually, athletics, I think, is going to make more sense. This is a bit more strength. Athletics, yeah, you climb all over it for a while. Can you make me another athletics check?
Nope.
A 2. Unfortunately, as you jump, up and down on it. One of the ribs breaks and you plummet towards the frozen stream below. Can you make me an acrobatics or a reflex save, your choice? Oh, sorry, a dexterity save, your choice. As you try to grab onto one of the other ribs, you're unsuccessful, and you fall into the river. Can you roll me a d6? Don't roll high. 5! Okay, you hit the ice hard, feet first. And you take 3 points of damage, but more unfortunately, you actually manage to break through the ice. Everybody hears the crack, the scream, and then another sharp cracking sound followed by a splash. And you all look over to see Rukka fall through the ice. Rukka, can you make me a
I may have
wisdom-
seen him do it.
Yeah, you did. You, as soon as you heard the crack, you were looking in that direction. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw, Rukka? Oh, you're lost under the ice. You don't know where that hole is. You come up, but there's ice above you. And you're just underneath it. All right, we will go to... Can everybody roll a perception check that isn't Rukka, please?
Åvna is going to say to Kridi and Afanen, it appears there are now 3.
All right, I'll take your first one, Åvna. So
Kridi is totally unaware of this, or at least doesn't react as fast.
okay, so Åvna, you are the first to react. Okay, you've seen it all happen. You know where the hole in the ice is. And what would you like to do?
I'll say, but your spirit animal is a caribou, is it not, Rukka?
It is, yes.
I'll say to others, the caribou has fallen. Maybe that's why they don't climb. And move over towards the hole as quickly as she can.
Oh, you're able to make it straight away. So you make it within one move.
Cool.
If you're doing it as quickly as possible, can you make me a survival or a reflex save, your choice? Okay, you know how to travel on this ice. You don't slip. You approach the hole. As you get close, you drop to your belly and you slide over to it.
Mhm.
Okay, no chance you're going through the same hole he did, and you've spread your weight out over the ice.
Excellent. Can I see Rukka beneath it?
Absolutely. He's actually only about 2 feet away from the hole, but he's panicking and he's looking in completely the wrong direction. You can barely see him, but he seems to be moving slowly away from the hole.
Can I thrust one of my spears, my spear, not my father's spear, into the water with the tip facing me, so I'll hold it by the shaft and get some extra leverage as I yell out to Kridi and Afanen, help me.
Absolutely. Okay, can you make me a dexterity save, Rukka? Okay, you feel something prod into your side, and you quickly wrap your arms around it. It feels like a worked piece of wood, and you realize that someone's managed to get a staff to you. You think it might even be like a quarterstaff or something like that. That's sort of what it feels like. And it's pulling you in a direction so you can hang on to it. Afanen.
Yeah, so I mean, the first thing Afanen does is make a really small squeaking sound. He's like, and then he very quickly kind of scurries over, staying on the bank, not actually getting onto the ice, and sort of stands near where Åvna's head is, kind of frantically putting his hands out as if he's going to help with the spear, but then like bringing them back, but then putting them back again, but then bringing them back, and being really unsure of like actually where to put his hands.
Yes, you can't really do anything from the bank, so you're just sort of hanging on there. But hey, more people on the ice could be dangerous.
It's
So
very evocative.
you're just sort of cheering from the shoreline, really.
More like
Sending good ideas.
silent panic on the shoreline, but yep.
Silent-
Åvna might see it as cheering.
Go to
Pretty.
it's your birthday.
Kridi is ready to do something.
Cool.
Leap
So,
attack.
how okay? So the spear that sorry, how do you say your name again, Grail?
Åvna.
Åvna. The spear that Åvna is using, is it like it's? I assume it's not like. It's designed to be a spear and not much else. Like how like. What I'm okay. Let's rather than keep talking.
It's just sort of a regular spear. Like think
A
Yeah.
spear.
So what I'm
it's
asking
very
is
similar to what Caribou uses. if
Yeah. Okay.
that's-
Cool.
you're
Yes.
asking.
Okay. So what I'm saying is my quarterstaff. Would that be, I guess, better suited to try and help pull Rukka out of the river, or is the spear would be fine? Because like I don't know how.
It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
As long as you know what you're doing, you're not going to impale yourself.
Yeah,
on
okay, cool.
it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You would be better off using the quarterstaff, but Åvna seems to know what she's
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, it's already in there, so it's fine. I was just worried if it was like just gonna snap or break or something by using it in this way. But if it's strong enough, it's fine. Cool. So currently, has Rukka got hold of it, or?
You can see that he's moved very slightly in the right direction now, and you do think that he either has hold of it or he stopped banging on the ice above him.
Cool. Okay, then if possible, I'll grab my quarterstaff and attempt to, I guess, try and break the ice directly above him.
All right. Yeah.
To try
absolutely.
and like while I mean if sorry, how do you say your name again, Grail?
Åvna.
Åvna. Sorry, the A just.
It's not an A. Have a look at it. It's got a little circle above it.
Yes, Åvna.
It's pronounced as oo.
I will practice and get better. Yeah. Anyway, Åvna seems to have stopped Rukka from going any further down, so I'm going to try and give him a space to come up for air and get out hopefully.
Okay, great. You move out onto the ice. Are you doing anything to make your staff more able to break ice, or are you just having?
I mean, I might as well cast Shillelagh. Like, there's no reason not to.
Yep. Okay, so you imbue your staff with your spirit power and bring it down upon the ice. Can you make me a survival or a reflex? A dexterity save. Your choice.
I guess survival. Wait, is that a survival save or a check?
Survival check.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, you're easily able to make it out onto the ice. You don't fall over or anything like that, and you pound down the shillelagh. Can you roll me just the damage for shillelagh?
Is there a difference in that, or just roll a d8?
It's just a d8 plus your wisdom.
Yes.
Nine. You smash the ice. In fact, the crack runs all the way to the other shattering. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Maybe a little bit too much damage, as you seem to have smashed the ice all the way down the river here. Can you make me a dexterity saving throw?
Indeed.
Okay, so you've opened it all up, but unfortunately you too have fallen into the drink. As you splash into the ice cold water. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw? Natural 20. Can you make me a perception check? Okay. You know where the hole is, it's everywhere because you've really just smashed up the whole river in this section, and you're easily able to resurface.
Cool.
Rukka, you also resurface, but you've got your hand on a spear shaft, and you're easily able to make it over to the bank now. The ice is all just shattered up. And Åvna, can you make me a survival check to crawl back to land? Because the ice is just so damaged now. Excellent. You all make it to shore. Kridi, you have no trouble, but two of you are freezing. Can you both make me survival checks? Or Constitution saving throws, your choice.
Natural 20, nice.
Okay,
First
and
of the
8.
campaign. Well done.
Rukka, you get back to the fire and you huddle up around it, but you don't strip your clothes off fast enough. Just a bit shy or something like that. And you gain a level of fatigue. So you can tick a level of fatigue as the bone coldness of the river has just seeped into you and you're getting a bit of a cough.
Well then, I'm going to pull my
what an
mask down
adventure.
over my face and sit in the corner.
Also, Åvna, can you make me a perception check?
Sure. Second natural
nice.
20.
Okay, well, when the entire river got smashed open, you were watching, you were looking, and you saw at the bottom of the river something shiny. There was something down there under the ice, at the bottom of the water. And you're not sure what it is,
Clearly that's what Rukka was going for.
but maybe. But there was definitely something down there, something metallic.
Probably something from this fallen giant. I mean, we've got a giant helmet, we've got a large sword embedded in the bank. There's probably other bits and pieces of metal. Anyway, shiny things do not take much interest for Åvna. But first and foremost, I have two cold, wet individuals, one of whom appears to have been injured. Are you hurt, Rukka?
Yes.
Good.
Good.
Perhaps then we will learn a lesson. Here, and she will cast Goodberry. I was going to prepare these for our sustenance. I will give you some extras. They will heal your injuries, and I'll pass them out. Stay close to the fire, and we will build it up. Perhaps next time. Playing is secondary.
Sorry, I'll be right back. I'm at 1 minute.
Thank you. He takes a good berry and lifts the chin of the mask up just enough to slip the berry into his mouth.
Okay. They're sweet. And you certainly feel like the energy that it brings into your body could sustain you, but they're not filling like real food is. Okay, they're like an energy tablet or something like that. They don't fill your belly. You still feel hungry, but you know that much like eating, one piece of condensed chocolate could keep you going for a day. This can too. It just doesn't sate your hunger. Yeah.
So I gave
So-
you 3 of them, Rukka.
But yeah,
Well, I gave you as many as you'll need. Everyone's getting 1, at least, because I get 10. Well, up to 10 berries, so 10 berries then.
I'm still going to eat them one at a time, though.
Yep, and you do notice that they they draw the cold out of you, and your ankle that was swelling up quite badly is back to normal, but you still have a bit of a cough. You gonna make it? Who's making the medicine check?
Åvna.
Is that
Åvna, and she'll look Rukka over as well. I'm sure
Yeah,
that
he
won't
look pretty good.
last.
Yeah. It did help.
Okay.
That's why he only took 3 points of damage.
Just check.
But yeah. It doesn't save you from the cold, unfortunately. Yep. All right.
Vanen, before Rukka decided to go climbing and then swimming, Afanen wanted to go over and have a look at the shrine.
Okay, yep, you go over and have a look at the shrine. Getting up closer to it, you can see that it's a fine little altar dedicated to the traveler. You can see that there's some fresh spirit fruit laid out to the side of it, and you can also see a very fine gem. This is like an actual, like, not a journeyman sort of gem, but like a gem that a true craftsman would use. It would be worth more chips, bone chips, than you've ever had. Not more than your parents have had, but more than you personally have ever had. And it's sitting at the statue's feet. You can see that the traveler is holding a bowl for offerings.
Avanen's gonna take one of the smallest rings from their finger.
Mhm.
It was one that they made, like, it was like one of their first rings that they ever made. And they're gonna put it in the bowl.
All right, you offer a ring into the bowl. Blink. It rolls down into the bowl and sits at the bottom of it.
And then he doesn't want to do this when everyone can see him, but when Rukka falls asleep, he wants to check if Rukka's clothes have any tears on them. And if he does, he wants to mend them, but he doesn't want to do it in front of everyone.
Okay, can you make me a stealth check? Yep, and can you also make me a sleight of hand check? Excellent. Okay. Is anybody going to be doing any watches tonight?
It makes sense.
I
Well-
assume I guess we should probably talk about doing it.
You weren't here, I don't think, Oz, when Åvna cast Goodberry. So she gave Goodberries to everyone, so you don't need to mark a day's worth of rations off, though. As Aaron mentioned, you are still feeling hungry, though. It just satisfies the need for nutrients, not the need for filling your gut.
Did Åvna give this to Kridi as well?
Yes, gave it to
Oh,
everybody.
excellent. Then you're good. Have fun getting another 100 questions about it.
They are berries, they sustain you. Did you not learn magic that aided survival on the tundra?
Oh, of course I did, but I've never seen it, used, I guess, practically. It's very different to be taught about it in books and from like the elders, but it's even better to have it like inside me and feel it working.
As part of our learning, we were left overnight on the tundra at times and had to make use of the spells and abilities to survive.
Really?
Yes.
I was just told to sit out there.
Maybe that's why you fell. By the way, Rukka, did you fall or leap in after the shiny thing at the bottom of the river?
There were shiny things at the bottom of the river,
No, there
and
weren't.
Rukka heads over to the edge of the river.
All right. You head
Away
over
from
to-
the fire while you're still so freezing.
You head over to the edge of the river. Can you make me a perception check? The ice is still all smashed up here. It's all sort of gathered at the bottom, and it hasn't managed to free. Yeah, okay. Yep, you can see something at the bottom of the river here. It looks shiny. Something reflective. Looks
How-
kind of metallic.
How deep?
Oh, hard to tell in water. Can you make me a wisdom check?
Yeah.
Or survival? Up to you.
Survival.
You think it's like just there? Like
Really?
maybe 6 feet down?
No, I'm already wet.
Are you jumping in?
Oh my god.
Yep.
All right. You jump in. Can you make me a survival check? 17. That's pretty good. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw? Oh, it's so cold, but you just push it away from you. You knuckle down and you dive for it. Can you make me an athletics check? Oh, you swim to the bottom. As you get towards the bottom, you actually feel the flow. Down at the bottom, there's a real bit of current trying to drag you along, but you swim against it. And you get to the bottom, and you see down here a large sheet of metal, and you're able to grab it and pull it up, but it is trying to pull you down. Can you make me another athletics check? You're unable to pull it up. Can you make me a survival check? And you're running out of air. So you can leave it behind and go back to the surface, or you can try to pull it free again, but you are running out of air.
I'll go back to the surface.
Okay, you head back to the surface. Can you make me a constitution saving throw or a survival check? Actually, you're going to have to make a constitution save. Oh, okay, fine. Survival's good, but yeah, that's fine to begin with. All right, so you make it back to the surface. Oh, gasping in air. What would you like to do now?
Anyone got any rope?
Kridi will attempt to try and make you go sit back down the fire before you kill yourself. Like, have you not heard of staying? We're out in the freezing cold. Stop jumping into a frozen river. You're gonna die. I don't care how shiny, whatever the shiny thing it is. Let someone else do it.
And shiny
Sounds
and
like he's got rope.
Yep, you're gonna die. Go back to the fire.
so in the morning we'll get it then.
Sure, as long as just chill, not literally, chill.
Do you get out of the river?
Yeah, I get out of the river. I'll go back
Okay.
to the fire.
Good. Now make me a
Jumping the entire
constitution
way.
saving throw. You can have advantage.
Thank you.
Damn it. Awesome. You can add another level of fatigue to yourself as it seeps into you. It's just, you feel okay after a while, but, whew, it was cold down there and it was pulling against you. But man, whatever that was,
It's pretty cool.
real nice.
It's shiny and big and heavy. Shiny, big, heavy things are always worthwhile.
Really?
Why else would it be hidden at the bottom of a frozen river?
Because it fell in and people thought it was of no use and left it there. Afanen,
Oh.
what was at the shrine? I saw you wander over there. Is it of any interest?
Afanen's just gonna shrug and then look at
the empty spot on his fingers where his other ring used to be.
Lovely.
We are in this trial together. Surely something shiny at the bottom of a river can wait until we complete the trial or die trying.
Unless someone gets it tomorrow.
It has rested there for some time. The water will freeze back over before the morning, probably within the hour. We know where it is. And when you come back for it, perhaps you could take better precautions, such as rope and hooks and the like. Come up with some mechanism to retrieve it, rather than your cold, bare hands.
Do we have any hooks? We could make like a giant pulley thing off the ribs of that giant.
Now you're thinking. But,
Afanen
sorry?
half-heartedly points to the rib that cracked beneath Rukka's weight, but then realizes that that would involve joining this conversation and puts his hands back down at his sides.
Excellent.
It is the first night. We should rest. I will sit on watch to start with. Do I have takers for second?
I'll prefer to go last, if possible.
I'll take second watch.
I would be better, feel better, should you just rest the full night. You are.
Yeah, you don't look too good.
Yeah. And the
Afanen
cough,
nods.
your lungs, rest by the warmth of the fire.
Okay.
Are you okay going during the middle, Afanen?
Nodding. Yep, Afanen's nodding.
Afanen, sorry.
Don't worry, you're not as bad as Henry.
Cool. There
Okay,
you
so
go.
the first person is Åvna.
Yep.
Åvna, can you make me a survival check with advantage? Excellent. The watch is fine. The sleet starts to come down a bit more heavily near the end of your watch.
I'll
but
check on Rukka during the watch as well, make sure he's okay and that he is breathing well enough.
Yeah, he seems fine. He's just got a bit of a shake, bit of a cough.
Okay.
But nothing you haven't seen before.
Just a quick question. Is fatigue the same thing as exhaustion, or is it something different?
It is the same thing as exhaustion.
Yep, cool. Okay, that's fine. Just want to double check. I figured, but
The character sheet has a place. Oh, actually, it's not by default.
does it?
It's not.
Yeah, I was
by
going to say
default.
I couldn't find it on mine.
You've got to
It's there.
go
You
to
gotta
the
check.
top next to
Yep.
spells, and then it's underneath ammo tracking. Show
tracking.
exhaustion tracking, and it's an on-off toggle.
Yeah,
Definitely worth including, because I do use it.
there it is. Good.
Cool.
All right.
And it actually is. It's pretty good. This character sheet. It will tell you what the effects of them are, the levels
Yeah.
that you get.
Which is good. All right, so that brings it to Afanen's watch. Afanen's?
Yep.
So Afanen, do you have survival?
It's not good, but I do have it.
Are you trained in survival?
No.
Okay, then just make me a survival check. Ooh. 14. You managed to keep the fire going, so good job.
I'm just gonna mend the clothes as well.
Yes, absolutely. You mend Rukka's gear. He did have some rips, especially down the bottom of his robe and along one sleeve. So you just fix those up for him. All right, that makes it Kridi's watch. Kridi, can you make me a survival check with advantage?
Yep.
Obviously, because it's your first day. 4. You keep it really nice and warm in here. Okay, and everybody wakes up rested and feeling a lot better, except for Rukka, who only loses 1 step of exhaustion. So he's just on 1 step. What's 1 step do to you?
Disadvantage on ability checks.
Ability checks?
Yep.
That's rough, buddy. All right. And you're ready to head out on another day's travel. Unfortunately, today you can see the sleet just coming down in that sort of medium sleet. Visibility is limited, but it's sort of, more than 60 feet, so it's not like super limited, and you can still sort of make out the mountain in the distance. Just fine details are lost.
Yep.
Okay, in amongst the sleet.
Where it says with good berry, up to 10 berries appear in your hand. It doesn't say
Yes.
1d10, it just says up to 10. So does that mean I can choose how many?
Correct.
Okay, so therefore...
Everybody chooses 10
Cool.
in general.
Yeah,
but
it makes no sense not to. I would have 4 left over because we each got 1, and then Rukka got an additional 2 for his injuries. So in the morning, I'll hand them off to everybody. This will sustain you for the rest of the day.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Basically, once you get the spell effect again, like the original good berries would disappear, if that makes sense. You have a good berry a day, but yeah, you can certainly eat them in the morning and then get your spell slot back.
Yeah, because it says the berries lose their potency if they've not been consumed within 24 hours of casting the spell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Indeed.
So I cast it at nightfall or dusk last night, so we'll consume them in the morning as we break our fast, and that will sustain us for the rest of the day. But again, people will probably get growly tummies.
You will.
Tighten your belts.
You will be
We'll see what we can find on the way.
Yeah, I mean, you won't lose any muscle mass or anything
No.
like that. You are getting the energy from the berry, and they taste nice.
But it's not the same as eating something.
There's a sort of gnawing hunger.
So, I'm going to also fill my cooking pot with snow, or actually ice from the river, and melt it, get it warm, and people can drink some warm water, hot water, clean water. And then I'll use what's left to put the fire out and scatter the embers.
Okay.
Rukka's going to tear a bit off the hem of his coat because it's a nice red colour.
After Afanen spent so much time repairing it.
Yeah, but
Did you notice that?
No, he was asleep.
Mhm.
No, just pay attention to clothes. And
So
I
you
tied around one of the ribs so that we come back through, we know that this is the giant skeleton that has the shiny thing.
Yep. Sure. Okay.
Kridi will say, I've okay. Kind of gestures vaguely at the map, but whatever.
Can you make me a survival check, Rukka? Yep. Okay. So you sort of have to get over the water to get it in the perfect position that you want, but you tie it off there and you think that it's not going to get blown away or anything like that. You fastened it on nice and securely, and you continue on your journey. As you head out this morning, and you begin to travel into this sleet, after about the first hour of travel, Afanen, you feel everything's going really good today. Your footsteps on behind these guys, following in their tracks, they're just steady and firm. You feel good about your traveling, and you notice that everything you do is just Hashtag blessed. It's almost like some light is making it through the sleet, and it's just falling on you. All right. At midday, can you make me a survival check, Kridi, since you are
Sure.
still leading with the map? Is that correct?
Yes.
Or
Obviously, the closer we get, the more it gets kind of unknown, but
Mhm.
I will do the best that I can.
all right. Well, yeah, sure. Okay, so you know that up ahead there's like a large chasm that's been sort of frozen into the ice for a long period of time, and a runic bridge has been built for the crossing. Okay, and you're able to guide the group to it very swiftly. Okay, no issues at all. You have come across it. Let me just move you to the map. Did that work? Yeah.
Yep.
There we go. And Rukka, you're just lagging behind a little bit because, bit of a cough. It's not as fun today as it normally is. Ooh. But are you letting that get you down?
No.
Exactly. All right. Here you can see the sleets falling in to the chasm. This isn't water in this chasm. This is actually sort of just you can see wind blowing along chunks of ice. There's a magical flow of spirit energy down below, pulling things along, and there's this massive span of ice crossing the way. You know that this is held together with runic bindings. And you can see, not well, but you can see dimly over the other side of the chasm, two figures just sort of sitting on some rocks propped up against them.
Do I expect to see people here? Like, do people, like, I guess, maintain this or guard this, or?
No. No people maintain this.
Okay. That's unusual then. Again, like, look, Kridi would think of that, but they're too busy examining, I guess, the bridge and how it works and all that.
Sure. Would you like to make an Arcana check?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you can see that sort of in the ice there are these large rock runes that have been inscribed with cold bindings. Okay, and you can see, you think that they've been inlaid with the bones of a frozen spirit beast. Okay, whether that's a frost owl or a snow wolf or one of the great rocks themselves, you're not sure, but there are certainly inlaid runes and using powerful cold magics to hold this bridge together.
Awesome. It was great.
Yeah, you think it would take very powerful fire magics to bring this bridge down.
Yeah, and like the wind and stuff isn't going to do it either.
Nope.
No. Cool. Kridi will just be excited again because, like, as you three will come to know, Kridi, while learning a lot of stuff, has never seen much practical uses of, I guess, more like, yeah, of magic and stuff apart from what they've seen in their own tribe. So, it's all new and exciting.
That wind is far below where you guys are. It isn't
Yeah.
windy. Okay, it's just there's a bit of sleet, coming down. Not much of an angle. Just keeps coming down, and it's cold.
Kridi will move across the bridge, but we'll mostly be looking down the entire time at the bridge rather than anywhere else. So
Great. Okay. Is anybody else going across the bridge with Kridi?
Yep.
Or
Rukka's going to as fast as he can. Looks kind of cool to walk across.
The wind is blowing left to right or right to left?
left to right?
Okay. Then yes,
He'll,
Åvna will also go across, but I guess if Rukka's going, she'll wait till Rukka passes and we'll bring up the rear, I guess.
He'll keep an eye on the guys on the other side and kind of shield the sleet from his eyes with his hand as he walks across, watching.
Mm-hmm. And Afanen?
Yeah, Afanen was just waiting to see
notice.
what Åvna did.
Okay, Kridi does notice the people. She's not that dense, or at least distracted.
If Åvna's going, Afanen will go too.
Åvna will hand Afanen her spear, and Åvna will take her father's spear, using it to thrust the point into the ice against the direction of the wind, just for a little bit of extra stability in case there is a strong gust in the middle. And I suggest you use this for assistance, just in case.
He's nodding, looking as thankful as a little hedgehog boy can.
Okay, Kridi, can you make me a perception check?
Okay, yeah. I'll guess I'll make another one.
Yeah. 8. Okay. Yep, you wander across the bridge. Rukka, can you make me a wisdom check? Or a wisdom save?
They'll be the same.
Alright. You go across the bridge at a good speed. You feel like maybe a somersault would be pretty cool in the middle, but then you're like, nah.
Yeah.
Alright. Åvna, can you make me a strength check? Or a strength save?
Save?
As you
Sure.
go across the bridge. Oh, you're having a really hard time, like, digging this spear point in. But you do make it across the bridge. It just takes you a while getting that spear point in.
Yeah, the spear point was just to, get a little bit of bite in case the wind blew up.
Yep.
Not to necessarily jab it in every step, but just to have it there so that you could brace against it in case of emergency.
And Afanen, can you also make me a strength check? Or strength save?
Sure.
Yeah, you're just sort of skittering it like along the ice, like running it along. You're really barely scratching it at all. It's more like just maybe pushing some of the sleet to the side, maybe. And you guys pass across the other side. As you reach the end, I'll just move. Oops. I'll just move really up to here.
Yep.
As you reach the end, these two figures that have just sort of been resting against the rocks notice you. And everybody can make me a perception check. Yeah.
Excellent spread, guys.
Yeah, alright. I was just moving you all up. So this is where you guys made perception checks. So Åvna is not successful. Kridi. Okay, so Kridi and Rukka, you notice when they notice you. Yep, so they've noticed you. Do you want to do anything? This is just to Kridi and Rukka.
I'm going to wave.
Yeah, I guess I'll just say kind of hi, and be kind of surprised that they're out here.
So you can see one of them has like a bandaged up leg. Sort of looks like the furs there are reinforced. And he hobbles up using his spear as a bit of a crutch. And he calls out, "Oh, look out! We've got a trap here. It's hard to see in the sleet. There's a deadfall in front of us. Just be careful."
So in front of us, like over here, or just like in our path?
No. He sort of gestures in front of himself, in between you and them.
Okay, cool. So like around here.
Oh, it's like on the. Can you not see this thing?
Oh right. Okay. Right. No, that big thing.
Yes, this massive thing.
Okay,
Oz's
cool.
character rolled a natural 20. Oz rolled a 1.
Sorry, I thought that was just kind of like a hut or something that had been covered in snow. I didn't realize it was
That is what it was, but I've changed it into something so that it makes sense. It's
cool.
It's a deadfall now.
That's fine. Okay, cool.
It's covered up with snow. Yeah, just be careful.
What are you trying to catch?
A great spirit bear. There's a wild black bear out in amongst the drifts. We've made this deadfall for it. Are you? You seem to be from most of the tribes. Are you actual warriors, or what are you doing out here?
Are they from a particular tribe? Can we tell that from how they look, or?
Yes, you can. You can tell that these are nomads. They belong to no tribe. They're outcasts.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're the best warriors of our tribes, and we're hunting that black bear too. But we're doing it better.
Kridi just looks at Rukka and is like, "We are on our trial of ascension." Sorry, go on.
I want a charisma check from Rukka. That's all. 5. Oh, mighty warriors! On your ascension trial? Yeah. Do you want to help us with the bear? Strong guy?
Afanen is shaking his head. Like, no.
No. We don't hunt by traps.
Oh, well, we know where it is.
Oh, please.
Making mighty warriors like you can fight it, and we'll learn.
Kridi under her breath says, "Please stop using we."
Okay, you've continued to walk while talking to them, so you can put yourselves across the chasm. You wish.
Maybe on our way back. I'm sure it won't take long.
Well, we're hunting it today, so
Rukka's
I guess
making a lot
you
of
missed out.
Yes, thank you.
Do not bears eat caribou? Just a thought.
Well, a fine day to you.
And you. Best of luck with your hunt.
Do you know of any further hazards we may encounter in front of us?
You'd be unlucky to run into the bear. Just stay true. Don't wander to the west. And you'll be fine.
Isn't the west the direction we're going?
No. Wait, let me look at the map.
I'm on map reader.
Oh wait, you are going west. Shit.
Yeah.
I meant south. I meant south.
Cool. Okay.
I always brought this up, but that map should be sideways.
Are we not
Yes.
coming from the south?
Sorry?
I was just saying we crossed this from the south. I was just being
Yes,
facetious.
indeed. It's just the map's the wrong way. Yes. You're right. You're right.
So
Just don't.
is the map supposed to be with the mountain right at in the north spot rather than the west?
No. It is actually supposed to be that way. I just. Yep. No. You're right. It's be careful to the south. Look,
Yep,
he's no cartographer, okay? So you got them book learnings. Yep. All right. Well, if you don't want to do anything with these guys, you can just continue going.
I mean,
It's about midday, you said, didn't
Yeah, it's about midday.
we? Should take a break and have a bit of a rest anyway. I'd like to check on Rukka, make sure he is okay,
sure.
of sound mind and body.
Well, I get the feeling that one of those is beyond your help.
So do you guys want to hang here with these two?
Well, probably not here. After that, Kridi would very much like to just keep going and then rest a little bit later.
They may have information, helpful information, that hasn't been forthcoming yet. But if you wish to push on, what is our knowledge of the nomads? Are they generally, even though they are outcasts, so they are pariahs among the tribes, or is it just that they choose that and have...
They don't choose it. They are outcast.
Okay.
So if you can belong to a tribe you'd prefer to, they've either gained an injury or they've done something bad.
Okay, and their view of the tribes, therefore, would be potentially hostile because of being cast aside?
It's either hatred, jealousy, envy, or sorrow, regret.
Nothing positive.
Yeah, I think moving on quickly is the best.
Fair enough.
As we start to walk out of sight, I'll call out to them. I hope the bear doesn't come from the other side of that trap.
The one with the leg is like, you can see he looks nervous, but the other one's just like raises his hands a little bit in your direction and then makes like a brushing the snow off his shoulder gesture towards you, which you know is like an insult.
That's right. I'll flip down my mask and then flick him a jaunty salute.
All right, so you guys head off a little ways.
After we get out of earshot of that, Kridi will turn to Rukka and say, like, that may have been more impressive if you hadn't jumped into a freezing river twice.
They didn't know that.
Yes.
No, but we do.
That's fine. You'll have my back.
As much as it gets that much of sticking together is better, yes. But try not to antagonize everything we come across.
It's like Lenza in flesh in a second game.
Lenza is my character from a game that Grail runs, and it is similar to you, Ben.
Hey, I'm just basing this off my 15-year-old boy.
Oh no.
All right, so you have a little bit of a rest up. Make me a medicine check. Yep. Chris seems to be doing fine.
Cool.
You think that, if the cold doesn't set in, he manages to keep his bindings all wrapped up properly, he stops taking chunks out of them to tie around stuff, he'll probably be doing okay by
Yes.
tomorrow.
So at that stop as well, if there's any kind of fuel anywhere that we can salvage and use, I will once again use Produce Flame to get a little fire going, encouraging Rukka to huddle close to it to warm his bones.
While you're checking him over, I can see if I can go find something.
Yep, sure, make a survival check for me to gather up some wood. Yeah, you're easily able to find stuff. It doesn't take very long either. Sort of 15 minutes, and you think that'll be good enough for a few hours burn. You'll have enough even to start the fire tonight. You've wrapped up a bundle for later.
Yeah, I can carry that along with me.
You think that in fact, with the abundance of fuel here, if you take an hour gathering it now, you won't need to do it when you camp later.
Yep, I'll definitely do that then. I'll
Alright.
add some
Yeah,
I guess.
firewood.
Firewood to my.
Alright, so you guys take a short rest. And, you know, if you needed to get anything back, you would, but you don't. But, yep, you have a nice short rest and are ready to head off in an hour.
Cool.
All right, so it continues to sleet, and as the evening approaches, the sleet turns into a heavy snowfall. Can you make me a survival check, whoever's trying to find camp?
Sure, I guess that will be me. So let's see.
16. Wow, nice. It is incredibly difficult to find a good spot now that the snow's coming down as heavy as it is. It's sort of covering everything up, but you do manage to find a good thicket of trees that's going to keep the snow off for a while. And even once the snow has fallen down heavily enough, you're able to have sort of a hollowed out section amongst this thicket. So everybody can make me survival checks or constitution saving throws to stay warm during the night.
An 18 with a natural 20. Nice.
Yep. Okay, so Afanen, you can make me another 2 con checks, please.
Saves or
Oh, sorry, not Afanen. Sorry. Åvna, can you make me 2
Con checks or survival?
institution saves? Okay. Just you've kept an eye on the fire. You know how important it is, but because of that you've had your back turned and just in a bit of a draft
Mhm.
for part of the night, and it's caught up to you. And in the morning you've got a bit of a cough. So, Rukka, you over the course of the night you recover your 1 fatigue or exhaustion, and Åvna, you have gained 1 exhaustion just from basically mothering over these people and making sure the fire's going. But in the morning, the snowstorm has ended, and it reveals a pale blue sky rent with red lines crisscrossing into the distance, something you have never seen before. And you continue on your travel. Who's leading you this day as you reach the edge of the peak and start the journey upward?
I guess the area isn't well documented in anything, so I probably wouldn't have much.
No.
I might defer to Åvna here because you seem to be a little bit more knowledgeable about a kind of general.
Alas, I'm feeling poorly this morning.
Okay, I guess I'll keep going then. If you're not feeling up to it.
Okay, great.
I would
Can you
not
make
like to lead us into danger. You've been doing a good job, I guess. Continue.
You've been doing a good job for a snake.
Owls, another
Owls
survival
eat
check.
snake.
Oh no. Oh dear.
1. Excellent. All right. So you lead the way up onto the mountain, up into the peaks, and you find yourself on a bit of a perilous path. Let me just skip a couple of maps. So, I've got Kridi at the front, leading the way. Who's following Kridi in the marching order? It's a bit of a tight squeeze you've come into, so
Rukka's gonna.
Rukka's following.
Yeah.
All right, and then who's following Rukka?
I'll recommend that Afanen is next, and I'll come last since I am the one who is affected currently and fatigued. I would hate to waylay or worse, cause Afanen injury if something were to happen.
All right.
Afanen does that.
Good. So everybody should be on the new map now.
One with a bear.
I can see no tokens except for
Bear?
two nomads and a bear.
Ah, damn it! I've chosen the wrong map. You
that's
didn't.
better.
You didn't do that. That
Yes.
never happened.
That was just
Yeah.
my fevered imaginations.
You didn't go to fight some bear somewhere. I was like, I shouldn't even make a map for this. Nobody's gonna go fight a bear.
Especially,
I mean, Rukka would have if we let him.
yeah, but
Right.
but Aaron should have known Oz is in the party. Oz does not like excitement.
Yeah, but Rukka could have got you into it.
Usually Lenza doesn't like excitement.
Amazing.
Okay, so here, on the side of the mountain as you come up the pass, you're making your way to your side. You can see over here the drop-off chasm falling away into the flows at the base of the mountain, and up ahead you can see a kobold. Okay, it's a winged reptilian sentient creature. These people learn their own path as spirit warriors, and they hope to follow in the footsteps of dragons, great spirit animals of which legends are told. And the kobolds believe that they are dragons, just really little ones.
Yep.
And he stands in your path. And he screams out, "Humans! What are you doing here?"
Walking.
What's the kind of relations? I guess. Do we see these guys as just nothing more than animals? Are they like? Do we know they live around here? Like, what's the relations? I guess.
So they're like an animal that has attained becoming like a spirit beast, which means that you might hunt them, you might make friends with them. They have like these ones, because they're sort of a humanoid, they tend not to have bindings if you do kill them. But they can make remnants and stuff like that. They're greedy. They can be violent. They're just like humans.
So
Yeah, they
to-
don't belong to any tribe or anything like that.
So to lead on from Oz's question, given the fact that the nomads had negative relations or feelings generally to the 5 tribes, and given that these are sapient creatures, and you mentioned like what they are, but is there an overriding single stereotype for them that we would know? For example, don't trust kobolds because they'll stab you in the back, or kobolds' word is their bond.
They're greedy. Their overarching thing is they're greedy. Oh, and arrogant. They think they are all that.
Okay.
That's what you know about them.
Okay.
They believe they're dragons, but you think they're more like
Lizards
yeah.
that owls eat.
Yes, indeed. Owls eat those things. Absolutely. There's some arrogance going both ways.
Yep. Cool. Awesome.
So do you want to reply to this guy?
I mean, I think Rukka was doing it.
We're walking. Is that all right?
Not on my path. If you wish to come past my path, you must pay me.
Bestie. Why the hate? We're your friends.
This path doesn't maintain itself. You notice that it's like covered in rockfall over here, and there's like cracks in it. It doesn't look like it's being maintained well at all.
Quietly off to the side so that our new bestie can't hear us. Do we call this guy on his bluff? Because
What's
this
the
is
price?
terrible.
What is the price?
I don't know. I'll find out. Hey, bestie, what are you charging us?
A shiny? What do you got?
Åvna
We
Åvna-
could probably just.
Åvna will cough. I have this, Rukka. There is a great big shiny 2 days from here. We'll tell you where it is, and you let us pass.
A great big shiny?
Yes.
Tell me more about it.
Let us pass.
No. Word of shiny first.
In a river, beneath a skeleton.
What are you? Oh, come on.
Great big shiny in the river? Neath a skeleton? How far away?
2 days.
2 days. That is far from the mountain.
2 days for us. Clearly someone like you can travel faster.
Can you make a... Actually, everybody can make a perception check for me, please.
I see the pimple on his nose.
Oh, man. Okay, let me just... Go to...
Yes, are there any other kobolds lying in ambush? Yep.
Okay, so as you're saying that, like, you see these two, they've been hidden, they're not moving, they were out of line of sight, but when he starts talking about 2 days from the mountain, they sort of poke their heads up and you can see them shaking them. Oh. But they also notice that you have noticed them, and they stand up. But they're still a little bit crouched down. And this one that's closest to you says, "No! We cannot leave the mountain. That is too far. You bring us the shiny and we will let you pass."
No, we must go now. The shiny is yours. 2 days. Out of our way. We don't have time. We mean you no
Well, then-
harm.
Something else then. Do you have something else?
A cautionary tale, perhaps?
That is not shiny.
But it is worth more.
Magic fingers.
I will tell you the
No.
tale of the caribou that climbed the chest of ribs.
Ooh, a story. This one says. And the other two shake their head at him. No, shiny. He said, "No, story." All right. Tell them this story.
There was a young caribou, wise in his own mind, who wanted to play instead of do work. When the others were working, he went off and found a pile of bones to climb upon. He thought it was a great lark, and he leapt for joy at the sun shining above him. Meanwhile, his fellows were working hard, tiring away to make ready a camp for all. But the caribou was not interested. As he leapt for joy, thinking the game was so much fun, he slipped and fell, plunging into the dark depths below. Thankfully, his friends saw him. The caribou was rescued, but only after badly injuring himself. the wisdom of his moment was not lost, and he realized that perhaps in future, putting the group first over his own joy would bring him more joy in the future. He would be able to gain more by being patient, by working hard and toiling with his fellows. And when all the work was done, there would be time for much play and merriment. That young Caribou became a vital member, a vital cog, and worked hard to make sure that those he travelled with were safe, cared for, nurtured, protected, and at the end, when all was safe, there was much joy and merriment for all.
All right. Åvna,
Mhm.
can you, with advantage, make me a diplomacy check, and also you can have inspiration.
I might need it for this very role. Diplomacy, that is... what is that? It's performance persuasion, isn't it?
Yeah, persuasion.
Yeah.
So you've got a 7. Yep.
Yeah. So
That
I might need to use that inspiration at this point.
All right. So inspiration is a D8. So add that on. An 11. Oof. That is
Mind-numbingly bad. Charisma.
It's,
Charisma
it's
4.
over 10.
You have told the greatest story that you think you have ever told.
Yes.
That being said, still not a great story. Much like your mum slaving over the cooking fire for an entire day, you have managed to string together a story that is passable. However, these two, this guy who's closest to you and the one who's furthest away, think it is hilarious. And they point at Rukka and they say, Caribou, Caribou. Okay, that was funny. And this guy who wanted the story is like, what are you talking about? And they're like, we'll explain it on the way home. Come on. And they fly off together. And you guys are able to continue on your way.
Nice work.
Do you think next time you could, be a little bit more subtle about it?
Do you think
I
next time you
thought I
could
was.
avoid jumping in a frozen river twice?
No, but I was being subtle. You gotta understand, Åvna thinks she was being subtle.
Did they work it out?
They're just very insightful creatures, clearly. Charisma
Amazing.
4.
All right.
Does anyone have a good charisma here, or are we all just terrible?
Afanen does.
Oh, good.
A few of you do. A few
Yeah,
of you.
Rukka's in the positives.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a surprise.
Clearly, it's
Ah,
when
people
he...
like it.
Yeah, it's clearly he's like a likable chap. He's just a teenage
He's a
boy.
Yeah. Okay, you have managed to make it to the summit, and you can see before you these. Wait, did I bring you guys to the map? There you go.
Yes.
You can see before you the watching stones up ahead, and they call to you. Okay, I didn't actually write down who each one calls to. Let me just. Oh. Okay, so what was that? Oh, yeah, maybe you got it. You got to the top. All right, so this stone here It calls to Åvna. And that is all. This stone here calls to Afanen and Rukka. This stone calls to Rukka and Åvna. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And like vaguely Afanen also. This one calls to Åvna and Rukka as well, and vaguely to Afanen. This stone calls to Åvna and
Which
Kridi?
one's that one? Sorry.
This one.
Cool.
This one calls to Kridi and Åvna as well, as does this one. Although this one technically calls to all of you a little bit. Okay, so that should be all of the stones. I should have clicked on all of them. This one you feel the most pulled towards Kridi.
Yep.
Just to make that clear. But yeah. Anyway, you approach the stones. Everybody can tell me what they're doing.
This big one in the middle.
Yes.
What is it and what does it do?
It's a massive lump of, it looks like slag. Slow slag. And in fact, as you're looking at it, you have never heard of this happening in any tales before, a massive drop of splash of lava falls from the peak up above and rains down and hits right on the top of that stalagmite, I guess, and splashes out over the top of it, quickly cooling into more hardened stone.
Don't go climbing that one.
Now that you said it, I'm sure Rukka will try.
Look, I'd be lying if I said the thought didn't cross my mind. But there are rocks calling us, guys. Like, should we go hug them or something?
Probably not hug, but maybe approach, yes.
So, did anybody else have a rock that did not call to them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do all of them call to you?
No. Does anybody have a rock that calls to them alone? Okay. Let me say this, because you would not know that. This rock here calls to me. This rock here calls to me. This rock here calls to me. This rock here does not.
Whoa, sorry. This does not call to you.
Hang on a second. Oh no, sorry, that's the one that... Sorry. Yeah, I got it.
This one doesn't call?
Yeah, that's the one that doesn't call, but all the rest do.
Mhm.
Does anybody have... But which rocks don't people call to?
4 of them don't call to me.
Yeah.
And and one kind of faintly. This one here faintly does. Only faintly does.
Yeah. All the ones on that side, he gestures off roughly to the right, don't. But one faintly does, and the other ones do. It's like a triangle of 3 with the 4th one added.
Do you think this is some kind of test?
We have to touch them really quickly. Like I could run and touch the 3, then touch the 4th. Like a game of tag. I'm going to try that.
All right, which one are you going to first?
That one first.
Okay, as you start to approach this stone, this one calls to you. And it calls to you so strongly that suddenly you find yourself elsewhere. You're surrounded by darkness. And in the darkness there are a set of eyes. But that's all. And you can feel them watching you. And it whispers to you. And it says, mind not the lesser stones. Come to me. Make a deal. I'll offer you greater power than any of them. Rukka. Think of the fun we can have together. You like the darkness, don't you? Come closer. Embrace me and I will embrace you back.
Who likes the darkness, weirdo?
Mine is the easiest path. Mine leads to fortune and fame, fun and adventure. Do you want to study and work hard, or do you want to revel and play?
Yes.
I ask but a boon from you.
What's a boon?
But once a year, I will take your body, and I will play with it. But all the other days, it is yours to do with as you wish. And
Oh,
all the
stranger
gifts
danger.
I shower upon you. Do you resist the voice?
Yeah, strange danger.
Okay. You find yourself approaching this stone again. It's almost like nothing ever happened. So you touch this stone?
Yep.
Alright. Good. Yeah, there we go. Okay. This person appears. Everybody should be able to see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Alright. This massive spirit warrior holding what looks like huge hewn chunks of obsidian wrapped up his golden armor and festooned ceremonial garb. Sort of, you don't mind what he's putting out there, Rukka. And he shows you visions of the path that you could follow in his footsteps. So, this stone is... that one. This stone offers you the path of the rogue and the fighter. Okay. Do you accept it? Seeing all the things that a rogue and fighter can do, slaying opponents, dancing amongst them, hiding and surprising them.
No.
No?
No.
All right. You step back away from that vision. Do you go touch a different stone?
No, I'm going to turn around and look at the other guys and goes, so, there was a creepy eye dude that wanted to play with my body that I said no to. And then I saw a warrior when I touched this one.
Okay, make a wisdom saving throw for me. Alright. Yeah, you say that. You feel like some pressure behind your eyes as you mention the creepy eye dude. But you shrug it off. It hurts. You feel like you're going to get a headache.
So you're saying avoid going near the center one?
I didn't go near the center one, did I?
You didn't. You just walked towards this one. Wait, I'm not on objective. So.
went to touch it, and then the center stone spoke to me with creepy eyes in the darkness. And
Cool. So don't
Make a
approach the
wisdom
center
save.
stone.
Rukka?
Yep.
Take 3 points of psychic damage.
Mm,
There's a bit of blood spills out from around your eyes.
You have your
someone
mask
else-
on?
Spikes being driven into your head.
no, don't have the mask on.
Okay, cool. So
Rarely
we can see this.
Get squirted
I'd
out.
like-
Someone else
You
wanna
are
touch the
right.
Yeah. Great. Someone else want to touch the stone?
I will go. I'll go to the this one up here.
Alright, you go to that one.
Are you all right though, Rukka?
Oh, that hurt.
As you approach that stone, this figure appears before you, and you see her walk down her path, a path in which you could follow. So that's not her. That's her. All right, you see her. She shoots arrows made of stars, and you see her able to bring back those even upon the brink of death. Nay, at the end of her path, even those who are dead will heed her call. She offers you the path of the druid and the cleric.
Fair.
Do you accept that?
Yeah.
You accept that path?
I will.
Excellent. As you do so, burning starlight runs from you. The bit that is nearest to the stone envelops your body, and fire slowly caresses you as it runs down your length. You feel yourself being changed. Can you roll me a d3?
Right down the middle.
I need to open your character sheet. But I'm on the wrong layer. All right. You feel the energy envelop you, and as the fire goes over you, it burns away weakness, and you feel yourself getting stronger. Can you roll me... Oops, sorry. Can you roll me a d3?
Right down the middle.
Oh, that's a d3. Right, I see. You're actually rolling d3. I thought you were... Yep. Okay, again. The fire burns over you, and as it does so, your nerve endings tingle, and you feel yourself live, reborn, and energized. Roll me a d3. As it burns over you, the pain is excruciating, but you learn to endure it, and you know that you will be able to endure more. A d3? Yeah. You're not really sure what happens there, but you feel a little bit woozy. Whatever. D3?
Intelligence just got dumped a bit, did it?
Oh. The way has opened up before you, and you understand more about the world, everything that is here, what is ahead of you, what has been behind. There's just so much glory, and you are a part of it. Roll me a d3.
Going well.
Yeah. You know,
Fuck the
stuff
world.
happens. Whatever. You feel the burning finish, and it rolls up your body, coalescing around your face and your eyes, and that war paint that you normally wear
Mhm.
burns away, and into your flesh scorches a magnificent tattoo. It's made out of burning white and gold fire. It needs to take on some form of an owl, but you can shape it with your will. So you have been marked.
Mhm.
Yep, that is your transformation. You all notice that Åvna goes through this. It looks sort of like a flash as the fire rolls over them, leaving behind this massive scorch across the front of their face in blue fire. That you can still see this tattoo. And she stands taller and prouder, stronger, and you can see sort of at her feet a pool of like black stinking gunk, as though all the impurities have been pushed from her. Yeah, choose a class, Åvna. You can have either
Druid.
cleric or druid.
Congrats.
As that happens, the stone that Åvna approached no longer calls to anybody that it was calling to.
Cool. That was one of mine, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I figured. Nice.
So what would people like to do? You've
So-
never heard of anything like that happening. As a
Yeah,
side.
cool. So, this one is the one that calls everyone, yeah? Just a little bit to everybody.
Yes, it calls a little bit to everybody.
Cool. I would like to...
Actually, it calls to you more than anybody else. Like, it called to everybody a little bit, but it did call to you properly.
And this one, the other one, I was this one. Cool, okay.
That one really calls to you. That
Yeah,
one has.
I might approach this one first.
Okay, you approach that stone. All right. You watch this figure reaching from its back, extra limbs, and it dances amongst enemies, throwing them, punching them, jumping, smashing into the ground. It rips arrows out of the air that come towards it or its friends, and you can see that as it punches its enemies, other limbs reach out and heal its friends. It is a beacon of hope. It feels so tranquil, so balanced, so merciful, and so peaceful, this figure, and yet it dances amongst carnage. This stone offers you the path of the monk or the cleric, or both.
I will back away from it then, and not choose yet. I get to choose if that seems what's happening.
Okay.
Because I do want to check out the other one. But that's
Van,
essentially what I'm doing.
would you like to do anything, or are you just watching?
Afanen is mostly watching, but maybe kind of like skirt around the outside towards the one that called the most to it, which was this.
All right, so you do approach that stone surreptitiously.
Slowly, quietly.
All right.
Oh,
Jesus.
This figure appears before you. It is terrifying. It is the most horrific thing you have ever seen. It is the Terminator. It is unstoppable. It is a work of vengeance. It is a work of order. It only understands the clock workings of its very soul. It is unstoppable. This stone offers you the path of the paladin and the sorcerer, or just one.
No, that dude terrifies me.
So you back away from it?
Yeah.
All right.
I assume that was the paladin.
Yeah, paladin and sorcerer.
Nice.
Here's what that one had to offer. All right. Is anybody approaching another stone? Rukka?
Yep. I'm going to
You're the fastest.
try the one that hasn't been touched yet that called me.
All
here.
right.
Before we go any further,
Yes.
since Åvna has been transmogrified,
Yes.
does she have any knowledge of this, of what's going on? Has any kind of information been imparted to her? Does she have any prescience, any intuition about what's going on, specifically with what caused Rukka to take injury and to complain about the force or entity that wanted to puppet master him?
Ooh, do you know anything about it? You
I know is fine as well. I'm just curious.
do you have knowledge religion? You don't, do you?
Hell no.
No, you don't know.
That's cool.
You're like, that's some bad. He shouldn't be eating those much. He's still got a fever. That's what's going on. That guy got cold.
Real cold.
Real cold.
Might have got some.
It certainly didn't cool to you.
Might have got some ice river lice or whatever into his eyes. Cool.
All right, Rukka, you've come over to this one. This beautiful figure, bedecked in what looks to be the skin of a dragon. He is majestic. He walks, bounds, drifts. Everything. He can be anywhere, whenever he wants. And anything that is within range of his bow is a meal, a trophy, a new suit of armor. He offers up the path of the ranger and the rogue.
It's tempting. It's tempting.
Do you wish to accept his path?
No.
All right. As you reject him for a second time, you feel the center stone call to you, Rukka. Do you want to talk to the center stone again?
I
Sorry?
guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
What? Why'd you make my head hurt?
speak not of me to the others. They have not been offered this deal. It is to you, the bravest one.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Ha!
But-
You and I, the fun. You rush in. That's what I enjoy.
And what do I get?
What do you get? Well, if you'll sign a pact with me, and some knowledge flows into you, you understand that he will give you gifts, power, but also you may learn song and dance and glory. You'll be able to speak to people better. His path, or the paths that will be offered to you, are the warlock and the bard. But you have to take warlock, at least for the first level.
Shocking.
Do you accept his path?
Does it have to be once a year? And do you have to have my whole body?
What about my little finger?
It is such a small thing, but once a year, for one day, I will work my will upon the world. But for the rest of it, you gain a portion of my power, and as our connection grows deeper, so will your might, your glory, our magnificence. He starts to chuckle.
And I'm pretty magnificent as it is.
Aha! But you could always be more.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. Do you step away from the stone again?
Yep.
All right.
Well, I guess by this point I would have reached this
Yep.
one,
All right.
the one that caught to me most.
Standing before you, this mountainous figure, this absolute giant, holds a frozen sword made out of the magic of ice, something that you have been deeply connected with your entire life. You feel that he is immovable, a rock. He is order, and around him is chaos. He can endure anything, while around him everything crumbles. He offers you the path of the cleric and the wizard, but
Interesting.
not any wizard, an abjurer, and not any cleric, cleric of order.
Interesting.
Do you accept that path?
I'll have a think about it. This
All
is
right,
cool.
you back away from it.
Mhm.
Three strikes and you're out.
Possibly, but
Afanen.
this I turned to Åvna. No, fuck. And say like this seems like an important choice.
Afanen, do you approach another stone?
I think I've seen all of the ones that called to me, right?
This one called
You
didn't
have. No, it did not.
it? Okay, cool.
You have seen the ones, but you haven't spoken to them yourself. But yes, if you approach this one, you'd get that message. But as you're standing back and watching, the center stone pulls you in. It feels that Rukka is a lost cause, but there is another one that it may go to. You're just a bit cautious for its taste, but maybe you crave the power? Do you, Afanen? Crave power? Do you like mischief? I promise joy, fun. Do those things interest you? In amongst the darkness you drift. It's watching you.
Well, then it definitely sees Afanen touching the earring on their left earlobe.
Are you, whoops.
Yeah.
Are you trying to resist it?
I think so. I think Afanen sees this and remembers Rukka, like, talking about it and getting a bloody eye. And it's like, that's probably not a good thing.
It doesn't like people talking about it, but it has many secrets. And it can do many things. The path that I can take you down will give you powers unlike any of the others. Powers greater than theirs. The power to change the world to your will. With but a wish in my name, I can make things happen for you. Anything that you dream.
What name is that?
Sorry?
What name?
What's its name?
Yes.
Whisper. You can call me Whisper.
Afanen stops fiddling with their earring
and says, I don't need to change the world.
You don't? Not even for that earring? That earring doesn't want you to make a change in the world? If you're not
No.
brave enough to reach out for this destiny, then that is fine. You may leave me.
My ambitions are smaller than yours.
You find yourself just standing back where you were. Out from the darkness. Rukka, are you going to try another stone?
Yep. I'm gonna go to the last stone that called me that I haven't been to yet.
That one? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, yep, you encounter El Terminator, the Unstoppable, the clockwork, the machine. Yeah. It
Yeah.
ticks towards you. Do you want the path of the paladin? Or the sorcerer? Or both?
Both, I think.
Okay. You do feel that it may lessen you in some way, but you reach towards the power and the glory. Alright, the flames wash over you. They are blue, but you also feel like your insides are being reordered. And all that is unnecessary is being squeezed from you. Unlike, for everybody else, unlike when Åvna was covered in her fire. What seems to happen to Rukka is much more segment by segment. A piece of him actually sort of pops and rotates and twists and grinds, and every now and again you see like what looks to be a cog break through his back and push the skin out as it rotates slowly with a clicking sound. It is agonizing, and yet you cannot scream. All that comes from your mouth is this blue fire. You can roll me a d3. All right. Ooh. This is incredibly painful. That's actually not going to be good. Let me just... Oh, it only does you 1 point of damage. Excellent.
Hooray.
You feel like your body cannot handle the changes that are happening to it, and you scream out a plume of blue fire, and some blood splatters across the ground as one of the cogs ripping through you bursts free of your flesh. However, you do feel now that your arm, now having like this cog sort of kicking out the back of it, stronger.
Excellent.
Roll me a d3. Your body jerks and spins with fine, swish precision. Every motion, every second is accounted for. Everything that you do is clockwork. Roll me a d3. Your flesh is weakness, and you feel some of it just removed and replaced and reforged in the fires of pistons. D3, please.
It's like a caribou losing its fella.
You don't really know what happens. Maybe something did. Whatever. Things are blurry for a second. D3? Ooh. But the world certainly does open up. You understand things. Everything is ordered, and everything does what it has to do. And you have to do things too. but you know what they are, and not everything knows what those things that need to be done are, but you'll make them see the correct way to do things. Can you roll me a d3? You also feel your presence in the world become more solid. You think that your actions can sway others. You think that your very presence is enough to change the outcome of any situation. You understand that others will look towards you as they should. Choose a class, sorcerer or paladin, and take 1 level in it. I'll go through that with you because you just get the stuff that's for the class. Just to make it clear, you don't get like a background or any of that stuff. That was all previously done before.
Yep.
Which class are you going to go down?
I'll
Sorcerer.
go down paladin.
All right. So you're taking a level of paladin. Excellent.
Nice. So, paladin, a druid. Good start.
All right. Feeling a little bit left out, Kridi? You've seen Rukka get reforged.
That looked very disturbing.
Yes, absolutely. It's particularly disturbing that there's like a cog through his arm. Okay, and it doesn't seem to be affecting him poorly anymore. When it actually erupted, there was a spray of blood, but now it seems that that's the way his arm works.
Fanon's pretty glad he stepped away from that store.
No.
So, okay. So these 2 stones have been used up now. This one and this one.
Yes,
Down
the
here.
ones that have been used.
That's
they
why I
know-
put myself over the
Yeah,
stone.
on top of it. Yeah, no, that's all good. So, but no one has gone to this stone yet.
That's correct.
But that one didn't call to me whatsoever.
I mean, it didn't, but that doesn't mean you can't approach it if you want to.
I will, I guess, look towards Afanen and see like what are they doing?
The F sympathy.
Eyeing the center stone extremely suspiciously. Like trying to get as far away as possible, nearly backing off the cliff.
Yep, cool. Okay. Interesting. I guess I'll approach that last one. Just for the sake of completeness. Content.
All right. You approach the last one. Oops. This woman strides amongst the snow. She has an axe made out of what looks to be demon bone. She carries a demon head in her hand that she has ripped from its body. You feel fury from her. You feel the cold. You feel giant strength, anger, rage. She is a beast, but she is also a knight for humanity. She fights against the demons that would plague this world. You've never heard of a demon before, but through this connection, you feel that they are a real threat, and it is with her powers that you could fight against them. She offers the path of the barbarian and the fighter.
Cool. Okay. Yes, cool. I will back away from that one because, yes, rightly it didn't call to me. Cool. Awesome. This is honestly just interrupting. This is a really cool way of doing character class selection.
Thanks.
I love it, and I also feel so stressed.
Yes, it puts a much different spin on. Yeah, just choose a class and go from there. Okay.
I am wondering if you can return to one that you have declined.
Are you trying to do that?
I was just talking to Kridi
Oh.
and to Afanen.
Yeah.
Is it one chance only?
I don't know. That other one let me talk to it again. Wisdom saving throw.
Yes, you can absolutely make a wisdom saving throw.
God damn
That
it.
That is a fail. Bam! You take 5 points of damage. You say, and you
God.
scream. Oh, it's so painful. Can you make me another wisdom save? Okay. Your scream is just a regular one. Nothing strange comes out of your mouth. No blue fire, but you do fall to the ground unconscious.
I guess, yeah, I'll head over at the same time, because that's kind of concerning.
Is
Afanen
anybody
has
else-
no way to do
I-
anything, but just kind of hands hover over Rukka, like when the spear was there, and he's like, I want to help, but I don't have any way to. So
Attempt
I'm
to just,
gonna-
like, stabilize them, or, like, not... I don't know what's...
are
I've
you
got no
trained
idea
in
what's wrong with them. No.
Then you can't.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so Åvna is going to make her way over and do a medicine check, but before that happens, because it took a bit of time to get over there and do a skill check, Rukka, you are going to make me a save versus death.
Already?
Mhm.
You fail. You feel yourself slipping towards death, but you are vengeance. You will have your revenge. Åvna, you make it over and you're easily able to stabilize Rukka. Rukka, you feel that the grip, the chaos that was trying to pull you apart is held back. And there are stars around you in your visions. Hopefully when you awaken, things will be better. You're on 1 HP.
Hooray!
Don't
Okay.
mention it again.
But you do keep that one failed death save.
Yep.
In my campaigns. Yep, good. Just so we all remember, that's one.
hmm
All right.
And you get rid of that by, like, what, long
Long
resting or something? Yeah.
Long rest. Yep. You remove them all by long resting, but don't go down 3 times in a day. You will die. All right. Does anybody else want to do something?
I mean, yes. I guess I'll choose something. What was this one again? It was monk and
Monk and cleric.
cleric.
Mm-hmm. If you want to
Okay.
know more about it, it is a mercy monk and a peace cleric is the like recommended path. You don't have to take that path, but that's like what that actual monk is. Okay, so there's like a monk that punches people and heals them. And there's a cleric that like keeps people together and looks out for the whole. That's the peace cleric. So mercy
Yep.
monk, peace cleric, yep. Is what that guy is.
I'm thinking. Yeah, I think I'm gonna choose this one. This sounds much more up Kridi's.
All right. You have chosen that path very well. Roll me a d3. Let me just search.
A slash RD3.
/ R space D3.
Okay, so you more than the others feel like a wave of happiness come over you, the peacefulness, the tranquility, and you realize that you can recast yourself into something more capable, more friendly, more able to help those around you. But you just weren't concentrating right at the start, so roll me a d3.
Just so you know, you can just press the up arrow.
Yes. So you feel yourself become more in tune with everything around you. You learn the steps and the way to move your body correctly, and you understand, how to step to the side, how to step into a blow, where not to be is the most important thing. Roll me a d3. You don't think you're any tougher, but you do believe that you will place parts of your body. You know how to protect your vitals more capably. You know where vitals are, and you know how to protect yours. You think that with care, the right diet, and the right exercise, you're on the right path. A d3. Oh, success! My goodness. You're just faster. Every movement that you make is faster, but also you think before making those movements, and everything's awake. Before, your mind was on one track, you were thinking down a path. Sometimes when things were going well, you were thinking down a few roads at the same moment. But now it is as though the map is open and all paths are open to you, and you can wander down all of them at the same time. Roll me a d3.
Consistency is key.
And you think you know where those paths may lead you. You know where they've led before, and your eyes are open, and you are taking it all in. Roll me a d3. Oh, amazing.
That's my line.
You realize that people are important, and maybe you haven't been the nicest person before, but if everybody just tries a little bit harder and a little bit more together, you can bring everybody together, and you can help them, and they in turn may help others. And isn't that the most important thing? You feel pain across your back and sides, and it runs up your body. It sort of spasms around your spine, and you almost feel like there are limbs trying to burst from your back, but then it just rushes up your arms and into your hands, and they darken and lighten and change color. You can choose the color of your new gloves. Your hands are stained in a color of your choice, although it cannot obviously be a skin color.
Yep.
But it is some kind of metallic or dark color, like red, or a bold color. This is a very obvious marking.
Well, I'd probably go for orange then.
It's little love hearts. Orange. Okay. Yep. So a deep, like a true orange, not some like pale orange. Like this is a bold orange, not just jaundice.
Excellent.
Okay. You may take a level of monk or a level of cleric.
I will definitely go down the cleric way.
Okay.
But that was awesome.
All right. That just leaves you, Afanen.
Yeah,
The center stone no longer really calls to you. You would have to beg it for it to talk to you again.
Oh no, I'm fine with not talking to that stone again. I think I'm gonna go with this one up here.
This guy that you're next to?
Yeah.
All right. So he's offering you the path of the ranger and the rogue?
Mhm.
Yep. All right, great. Cool. So as that happens, as you accept his path, you feel pain rip through you. You're pulled in every direction. And the spirits of the dead suddenly, you can see them all around you, and they tear at you, pulling you to pieces and putting you back together. Some of them leave you tokens and gifts. Can you roll me a d3? To everybody else, it looks like Afanen is being pulled to pieces. Just fleshy chunks are being rendered into sort of a meat soup.
Oh god.
I don't know if Goodberry will fix that.
Hilariously, that's just enough. Good job. You feel your weakness leave you, push it away from you, and you feel strong like you've never felt before. Roll me a d3. Oh. Roll. Wait, did I? Yeah, I rolled it. All right. You feel like your body is not able to keep up with the changes needed. It bubbles and spews, and some blood pops forth. You take 3 points of damage as you melt on the ground.
At this point, I'd like to just mention that I can see mine and Rukka's health bars, but I can't see Afanen's or Kridi's.
Yes, Rukka's one is also showing for me, but not anybody else's, apart from my own, obviously.
Nice. I have 4 HP, so I'm on 1.
You'll be fine.
Oh.
You didn't speak about the unspeakable, so you didn't have extra damage to kicking around.
Sorry, wait a second.
That's not critical, I just thought I'd mention it now, whilst I remembered.
Who was the other person that you couldn't see?
I can
Hispida?
only see Rukka.
Yeah, but can you see Afanen now?
No.
No.
Oh.
I wouldn't worry about it, just keep doing the character and fix it up
Okay,
after.
that's fine.
I just wanted
Yep,
to mention it
alright.
whilst it came up and I could remember.
Yep. Roll me a d3. Afanen. Oh no, your body is not able to handle this. It is not able to handle this at all. In agony, you see what's trying to, as the body's like trying to recoalesce into an ideal, perfect Afanen. You see bits of flesh unable to cling to the bones, and it spasms apart. You take 5 points of damage and fall unconscious in the pain. Alright.
Isn't that massive damage?
No, I don't do massive damage until
Good.
3rd level.
Good.
Massive damage doesn't happen until 3rd level. There you go. That's one of my house rules. It always has been. Ask anybody. Alright, so... yeah, that really hurt you. Roll me a d3, Afanen. You're just drifting in a void. Around you, chaotic forces are trying to pull you apart. And as you become aware of them, they scare you. But you also realize that maybe they should fear you a little. Everything seems to... This is strange, but you think that you can work with it. Roll me... Oh no. Roll me a d3. This didn't call to you, did it? This stone?
Yeah.
It did? What was I thinking?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
The
either.
one that called to me the most was taken by Rukka, so I came to this one.
Yeah, it sure was. That one definitely called to you more than this one did. The world is an unknown thing to you. You don't really understand what's happening around you a lot of the time, and now this transformation is trying to open everything up to you. It's trying to make everything make sense, but there is no way that you can keep up with it. You have now failed 2 death saves. So I'm just going to note that down, that you are next to death. Yep.
I'm trying to make a medicine check on it, but I don't know if I need cooking instead with a spatula to put
Yeah.
it back together.
She is being put back together, but the world has suddenly opened up to you in incredible agony. And roll me a d3. That's fine.
Well, it's a good thing you got that pot, right?
Yeah, I was about to say. I can
You,
scoop up what's left to take it back, or take him back.
You're just in too much agony, and as the figure's perfection sweeps over you, the Fae working just can't really get a good hold on you. You're just drifting too much. But luckily, you were pretty fine on the eyes already. So you managed to hold yourself together. You have taken on sort of a more perfected visage than you previously had. You have a bit of the glamour around you. This others will be able to notice your sort of ethereal beauty from now on.
Oh no, I don't want to be noticed.
If they get to see you.
Yeah,
This-
I might just die, I guess.
This path that is open before you was the ranger and the rogue. So you can choose one of those to take a level in.
I think I'm gonna go ranger.
All right. Take a level of ranger. Great. Everybody has taken their class. All right, and we'll talk about a few of those things. Sorry. Did you just use the? Don't
Wrong
use
thing.
the. Don't use the. Don't use the chronomancer. Or anything. Sorry, because when you go up a level with this, you get everything that the class gives you except for one saving throw, which I probably should have said. Because
You can disable the chronomancer, can't you? Character mancer, sorry.
yeah, I think you can. So it should be fine. But basically, you already have one saving throw. Okay, so you can choose one of the saving throws that the class gives you as your other saving throw.
Oh,
Okay, but you'll keep the saving throw that you started with. So for you had dexterity as your saving throw.
I think I actually chose wisdom because I'm an idiot.
Oh no, you chose wisdom. That's right.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so you had wisdom, so you can choose your new saving throw from dexterity or strength,
Okay, sick.
which is what the ranger gets. Okay, so your choice of one of those 2 saving throws.
Did I kill it? Did I ruin everything else though?
No, I think you're fine.
I had a lot more minuses.
No, that was the transformation. It's also why
okay, cool.
you're unconscious. Åvna,
Mhm.
you have one opportunity to stabilize her. Oh, sorry, stabilize them.
Yeah.
Can you make that stabilization check?
I did it earlier when she originally dropped to negative. Do you want me to
but
make
you'll
another one?
gain when she took additional damage. Yes,
Yeah, that was the one that took her down. She took.
she took one here. Oh, I'm not clicking on the page.
Okay, that's
But
fine.
see the last roll is from me. That's fine. Yep. Okay, you stabilize. Afanen on death's door. But they'll actually need healing to rise into consciousness again. That looked incredibly painful, although they look amazing now. Anyway, everybody has picked up a class. The only thing that I had to explain was that saving throw thing. Everything else is just like taking your first level with your background and your ancestry already done.
Mhm.
Okay, so you get the skills, you get the hit die is upgraded.
Do we get more HP, or is it just...
You just change. So previously you had D6. Okay, so if you went to a high hit die, you gain the difference. For example, those people who took an 8 hit die get +2 hit points.
Yeah, we just bump it to 8.
Yeah, you just bump up
to whatever. Yeah,
to
cool.
whatever it is now. So for Afanen, for example, it's a 10 instead of 6. So Afanen's hit points will go up a lot, actually, because their body could not handle the changes. But yes, their weakness has been recast. And as you all stand at the peak, you see the slow revolving ring of the massive ring of cold energy that encircles Watcher's Peak, slowly continues to rotate, and you notice that there is a massive chunk missing from it. Just a huge chunk of it, and you can see the trailing edge where that chunk is missing. The magic is unstable and falling apart. And that's the end of this session.
Cool. Very good. Enjoyed it.
Good.
Nice.
Excellent. So everybody's on for 2 weeks. We'll see. I'll ask you again later.
Yes.
Yep.
I should be all right, but yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I enjoyed that a lot.
You're welcome. So did I. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. I'll yeah. Unless people want to talk to me and ask any questions, I'm gonna hang around here for a little bit. So feel free.
Cool. I'll stop the recording now.